the narrative as well today about the Lions, I believe, there's a little bit of a sprinkle of Dan Campbell is too risky. That onside kick attempt with 11 minutes and 55 seconds to go blew up in their face. But it was difficult for them to be stopping the Lions to stop the Bills all day anyway. But the one that I think is lasting now with the news that just popped as we started talking, my friend and our friend Adam Schefter reporting that there's an MCL injury for David Montgomery and the Lions might be without him for the rest of the season. And we already know how banged up they are on defense. The narrative is that the Lions, 12 wins might be the high water mark in the very long run here because they don't have the horses to win it all right now. Mark, what do you say to that?
Yeah. I would say offensively, they still can win it all. They're still that good, even without David Montgomery, and hopefully, he heals up enough to be ready for a playoff stretch. But I think offensively, they can win it. They've got a really good offensive line. They can be a very physical run team. They've got all kinds of talent, so they can beat you with a finesse game. They run that, the trick plays and doing all that. I think the biggest thing is you've got an identity on the defensive side of the ball, and that identity has been playing a ton of man coverage. They lead the league in as far as the number of man coverage that they play. At almost 50% of the time, they're playing man-to-man. They're bringing pressure. They're doing all those things. And at some point with the injuries, I think 13 different guys injured right now on the defensive side, majority of those guys on IR. I think at some point you have to decide we can't play this way anymore. And certainly some of the calls that Dan Campbell makes, you talk about the onside kick. A week ago, he had 5 fourth-down attempts, converted 4 of them. But if you're going to continue to struggle on the defensive side of the ball with injuries, at some point you're going to have to play some zone. You're going to have to get out of that man-to-man coverage. You're going to have to make people dink and dunk the ball down the football field and at least use up time, and then use time on the offensive side of the ball. So if an average game is about 12 possessions with, making teams drive the long way, dink and dunk down the football field, and then possessing the ball, running the ball, doing the things you do on offense, then you would have to think, can we get them down to 9 possessions? Can we get them down to 8 possessions so we can kind of bail out our defense? I think you have to start kind of changing the philosophical approach that you've had to football all season long, which is hard to do, but I think you have to do that because of the injury issues you have on the defensive side of the ball.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.